What is up, my Analytics 10 followers? It's Den here, and welcome to the live. Starting it up. So, first off, I'm going to start with a little case for Jared Goff, and I'm going to probably make this into an actual video soon. Probably maybe bring in a couple plays from this highlight season, maybe bring in some different measurements to kind of show you on Twitter. But this was just something I kind of noticed when looking at his second season stats. What is up, One Pride? And then I'm going to be doing a little bit of a mock draft with Kyle Hamilton after this. And I'm maybe going to do a little bit of a mock draft around what I think the Lions should do. And yeah, so the biggest thing that it comes down to is, first off, I wanted to start kind of like doing an offseason based on analytics around each of your players. So I decided to start first for our most important position, quarterback. So I wanted to see how good was Jared Goff actually in the second half. Because, everyone's like, oh, he improved so much in the second half. So I decided to look. We'll see, my good old buddy. And, well, so first off, I decided to average it out. I even use an average calculator. Don't worry, my math is not flawed here. But if Jared Goff averaged 227 yards per game, average that out, he gets 3,859 yards. Pretty good season, nothing elite, but I would argue it's a great season. It's very similar to his 2017 season. So that's just first off his yards. And I also averaged out his touchdowns. How many touchdowns would he throw a game? 2.2 touchdowns a game once Campbell started taking plays and he wasn't injured with an oblique. He averaged 37.4 touchdowns, and he would get 37.4 touchdowns if you get into a full season. So first off, just in yards and touchdown totals, Goff has himself a great season. He throws for nearly 4,000 yards and gets 37.4 touchdowns in a season. That's impressive. Okay, what about his interception total? Would it be super high? Something that was always an issue for him during the last 2 years. Well, he actually cuts down that total to, well, going to the non-flawed math, 6.8, so you can round it up to 7. So he would have had himself nearly 4,000 yards, 3,858 to be exact, 37 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. That's an elite season. And using the average calculator I have on here for his completion percentage, he would have got himself 61%. That's more than viable enough to actually win games. Sorry, 71%. I don't know why. That's enough to win more than just 7 games. That's elite numbers. Imagine that, that was just with the 4th round rookie in Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was not a deep threat, and Josh Reynolds. And I know everyone wants to praise Josh Reynolds, and which Josh Reynolds definitely deserves some credit for the improvement of Jared Goff. I think that's 100% true. But if we look at Josh Reynolds, he never really had that many insane games. Maybe he had one. Yeah, he had one great game. I mean, Josh Reynolds made him improve that much. This was with Detroit. Arguably, Arizona was his best game with Goff. Maybe Chicago. This one where he was more consistent and an all-around target. None of his games, he got more than 70 yards. That guy is credited with helping Jared Goff improve. Imagine what he can do when he has a consistent, non-injured O-line all year, good receivers, and he doesn't have Anthony Lynn calling plays. I mean, let's just do a little bit of a mock draft real quick and see what kind of talent you can add in for a guy like Goff. If you do something like this, okay, Hutch goes first, okay, Kayvon's not really worth it to me, so you go Kyle Hamilton. And blah, 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 blah. This is just not even practiced. Okay, this guy's not around, this guy's around, so you go Jermaine Johnson, alright? I don't think he'll be available there. And you go to receiver, who's around? Well, what do you do? There's guys like Jalen Tolbert, Khalil Shakir, David Bell. I think David Bell's a second-round player. You grab David Bell. Just within like the first 3 rounds, you grab yourself David Bell. You go grab a linebacker or safety. You know what? Yeah. You go grab a safety like Jalen Patir, and you go to linebacker. You go grab yourself like a Damone Clark, who's like literally like brothers with Kelvin Shepard, outside linebacker coach. We can go grab Troy Anderson. I mean, really, like there's all these players that we can get. No, he doesn't need. Okay, first off, no, he doesn't need everything. He just doesn't need a garbage team. If he was averaging those numbers with Josh Reynolds and Amon-Ra St. Brown and not a trash O line, he can play way better with better weapons. Imagine what he can do with actual great weapons. Everyone mentions this. Yeah. Give me a second, Brad. But everyone keeps knocking as a cunt. Matthew Stafford was the exact same way. He needs a lot of things. Did he need as much as Goff? No. But he still needed a lot of things. He didn't start winning games till he had a top 3 O line, till he had OBJ and Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee. He had himself a talented defense, a half decent play caller. Sean McVay, with all his criticisms of being an arrogant guy, is still a better play caller than Darrell Bevel. I mean, Stafford had a lot, which I do not criticize him for that. That is not an issue. Every quarterback needs something. Patrick Mahomes just lost an O-line and played like crap versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not an issue unless they literally have everything. Like they have top 3 receivers at every, or top 3 people at every position. Goff is one which is like gone to the Super Bowl with just Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp, and he wasn't even like the best Cooper Kupp yet. He was a rookie, and then he had Todd Gurley. And his own line wasn't even as good as it was for Stafford's, and the defense was ranked 20th. I mean, there's no issue if you know you can win with a guy with certain talents. That's not really that much of an issue. And if he can play well, I honestly don't care if he needs stuff. That's up to the team to actually make sure they give good talent. Even Deshaun Watson can't win games when he doesn't have all this stuff. It's insane to actually have a knock on that when he know he can produce, and every quarterback does. I just simply don't understand it. But even moving on, if a quarterback can produce with, and you know he can, if you give him stuff, that really is just to win. What up, James? Jared Goff, he says Jared Goff is the guy to build around 100%. Load up on the defense, get some receivers, solve on the line left, need a couple tight ends. That will take a little time, but Patricia left a hot mess behind the idiots. Yeah. Well, and you guys also gotta remember this. Even if Jared Goff does fail, there is a whole bunch of good quarterbacks in 2023 that are good productive players. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Grayson McCall, Tyler Van Dyke, Hendon Hooker. Tons of good guys. It's not like if we don't get the top quarterback in next year's draft, we still get a top tier. Remember, Justin Herbert was the 3rd quarterback selected in his draft. I mean, it's not insane. Because Jared Goff, and even if I give it to you, if Jared Goff plays as bad as you guys all say he will, the Lions will still be around 10. Pick 10. And you can trade the LA pick and the Lions pick and trade up and get some more draft capital and get your new quarterback of the future. Really? That's what it is. And so now let's move on to the mock draft with Kyle Hamilton. An actual one I'm paying attention to. Here we go. Bam. So we'll just do the first. Well, let's do the first few rounds. This is probably the biggest thing. Okay. Aiden is right there. I wish I could draft him. I'm gonna do my own what I would do. Okay, Kyle Hamilton. Willis is there. Jermaine Johnson, Peter. Okay, we'll go Jermaine here. I don't think there's any chance he'll be around. Linebackers, Leo Chenal, Jaquan Brisker. I'll go Jaquan Brisker here. Oh, wait, I'm at safety. I'm so used to drafting for Aiden. So you start drafting Aiden. I always sometimes forget you. That I'm not drafting to look for Jaquan Brisker. But there we go. Jermaine again. So top guys are around here. Jim Pater, Brian Sumoa, Mason Hill, Travis Jones, Wade Maffett, Kyler Gordon. I think if I was gonna do any of the moves, I would do like Brian Sumoa or Sumoa. My only issue with him is he's never that insanely productive. He have a bad game versus Tulane. I think I'm honestly gonna go with Chad Muma. I think he's an absolute dog. A good player. Da da da. He goes there. Receiver. Still got Jaden Tobert, who I like. I like Pierce. Christian Watson, which I think his stock is going to soar after the combine. Go Christian Watson. Da, 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 da. And maybe double up on linebackers. See if there's a corner. Okay, there's not a slot corner to draft. So then I would double up on linebacker. Let's see. Quay Walker still around. And Cross is there. Oh, Troy Anderson, solid player. I think he's a better run guy. Aaron Beavers as well. Quay Walker. Nephi Sewell. Quay Walker. Let's see. 6'4", 240. Only 3 missed tackles this past season. He's a good player. I do like Quay Walker. Let's see. I think if I was a Lions coach, I'd look at my options. I just think you go Troy Anderson here. You triple up on my maker. Boom. James says exactly no need to reach at all. There's a lot to fix. There's a lot to fix. Oh, sorry, no, there's a lot to fix, and the QB is far from my worst position. 100%. Reach even, yep. How's that coverage go? Huh? I think Jalen was good in coverage. I think Troy Anderson as well. I'm a big fan of Christian Watson, so you get yourself a top tier receiver, good pass rusher, good safety. It's pretty nice. All right, and I promised I'd let one pride come in, so let's go get one pride to come in. I guess he's only been in. Thank you. Well, it's probably because I'd have to do a guy. But yeah, I'll get one pride going in here, and until I send him an invite, I'm also gonna do what I would do if I was a Lions. Kind of coming into in here, like this is what I think would kind of be the ideal scenario. I already had that. Boom, boom, boom. On the clock. Kayvon's picked. Don't like him anymore. I just can't. I don't think it's ceiling as high as people think it is. He's there. So there we go. Right here, I would go Jaquan Brisker. I go linebacker. I still think you go Muma. Which now is tempting, as is Osamoa. But I just think that was working good product. And I just think he's a fantastic linebacker. And you go there. Receiver. Watson. I think he's gonna he's getting himself a lot of fans. And then probably not too much different because I guess I would also go Troy. So just kind of flip the first picks. But this is honestly what I would do. I'm gonna start making a little bit more case for this on what's it called, my Alliance app. And yeah, so yeah, One Pride is indeed in Discord. Yeah, man, that is just my kind of opinion on Goff. That's my opinion on what the Lions should do. I think the biggest things the Lions need to address this offseason is definitely not the quarterback. Because I'm going to be honest, I do not see the hype with Malik Willis. I don't even think he's really worth sitting for a year or two. He runs like he doesn't have the mobility or evasive. I mean, he doesn't have the evasiveness of Lamar. He's not that mobile, or even Vic for that matter. And he's not tall, big, so he can't be powerful like Josh Allen or Newton. He's a strong arm. I can give him that, but almost every quarterback in the NFL has strong arms. He should be no different. It's a bad prospect. If your prospect, and the biggest thing is everyone gives the excuse, oh, he had a bad line, he played at Liberty. If your prospect was so bad at everything, was so incredibly raw, that you have excuses for him, but because he's a strong arm running quarterback, that's not a good prospect. And that's not a reason you should draft him. He's not a proven NFL commodity guy. He's not proven to have being good with talent in the NFL. It maybe works for veterans, and even then, that's still a maybe. It's just not something you do now. But yeah, so on my Alliance app, by the way, guys, I am also going to be making a little bit of a full-on off-season thing again. I'm going to be looking into that, but I'm also going to be doing uh, we'll be doing more of a deep dive into who we should resign or not resign, and yeah. All right, so here comes one.
What's
Here
going
he
on?
is. What's going on, One Pride?
All right. See, I'm trying to think about this. So basically, if Rams House is saying that if our D line's holding up in the run game, and it's our linebackers that are failing us, we got to attack linebacker heavy.
Yep,
Definitely
I
need to.
100% agree. That's why I doubled it at linebacker.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm honestly I'm obsessed with this linebacker class. It's really good.
Oh yeah, I love Muma. I like Christian Harris. I like Brian Osuma. I like Troy Anderson. A lot of guys.
Mm-hmm. Um, I agree. Muma kind of reminds me of Fred Warner a little bit.
I think he's more of a. He kind of reminds me a bit more of his fellow Wyoming product, Logan Wilson.
Ooh, that's pretty good too. Because they're
Yeah,
both really
because
good cover linebackers, and they're both really good in the run game. So I could see that.
well, I
Um,
think Logan Wilson's also a little bit more of a pass rusher. They don't really use Fred Warner as a pass rusher all that often,
mhm.
and I and he. All right, Jed. I actually talking about Logan Wilson. Let me look up Logan Wilson stats on accident. But Logan Wilson has had 3 sacks, 1.5, and I don't think Muma's quite on Fred Warner's level. Fred Warner is a really athletic, fast guy. Not so much as like Muma, where he's more just a sideline to sideline guy like a Logan. He's good in coverage, but he's not good. I don't think he'll ever be elite like Fred Warner is.
Right, but we need that coverage linebacker anyway, though, in my opinion.
I think Muma provides you with that, and I even think getting some like Troy Anderson or Damone Clark from LSU could give you
Hmm.
that.
Oh yeah, but are they? How good are they in their run defense, though? That's the
Oh,
thing.
Muma's fantastic. He had 142 tackles this season. I believe he had one of the highest run stop percentages as well.
All right. So you think? Well, if that's the case, is his run stuff PFF grade pretty high too?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to PFF grades all that much.
Right. Oh yeah,
The
that's
only time I really like pay attention to PFF grades is blocking for a lineman, because generally I kind of agree with their PFF and line grades. Because also, how on earth do you fail at grading a lineman? But
honestly. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
like Damone Clark, for example, like this guy here, I totally think he's gonna have a high PFF grade. He had 136 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and interception, 3 pass defense. I mean,
That's
and he's
impressive.
6'3", 245. That's a good size linebacker.
Wait, what's the size? I missed that.
6'3", 245.
That is really good. That's perfect.
And I actually do think there's a big chance the Lions will draft Damone Clark because he's also really good pals with our outside linebackers coach, Kelvin Shepard, who, when he was a coach slash like administrator at LSU.
You know what's crazy? I always wanted an LSU player on the team. We'd always go after these SEC players, but never an LSU player for some odd reason. I don't know why.
LSU's in and out of creating good NFL talent. They like,
Well, especially when it comes to DBs. DBs
yeah.
and wide receivers, they come out every year with them.
Mm, I mean, it's the same place that produced like Tyrann Mathieu and I think Patrick Peterson. But
Yep. Um, I'm not. I'm not. Stingley scares the shit out of me. Greedy's ass. Delpit's solid though.
I think Greedy Williams could have been fine, but I think his injury history just came off because his first year, his rookie year, he was actually pretty dang dominant. He didn't allow a single touchdown, had an 84 rating, 61% completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the injury just scared the Browns away because he still was. He's
Right.
never been horrible, but
Right.
his run defense is really what made people not like Greedy.
Yeah. He took way too many business decisions. He hated a tackle. That's one thing with Greedy. He hated the tackle.
Hmm. All right, so let me get this
But
mock
we'll say
draft
this though.
started.
I don't really think when it comes to building this roster, we're not too far off. If you look at our offense right now, we got running backs, we got a tight end. We might need a wide receiver, but and we got the O line. All we really need, like for our defense, I think we need secondary and a lot of linebacker help.
100%. Well, and um, I think we're more than just a couple receivers because gotta acknowledge Amon Ra's not much of a deep guy. He kind of plays the role of what Juju Smith-Schuster used to play in Pittsburgh back when he was actually good at it.
Right.
Kind of the more yak guy. He's more the intermediate and short yard player.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Reynolds isn't really a deep threat, so I don't really think we'll see if we resign him. I don't think we will, but
I think we will.
um, I don't know. I
If
think
you
the Lions are
drop,
investing bringing other guys in
why not? You know what I mean?
because he's not the guy you'd want. If he's a guy who's out there, that means your receiver core is struggling. Because Josh Reynolds is a receiver 3, receiver 4, in just about any other team. The
You
fact
don't
that he
think?
was a receiver 1 slash receiver 2 wasn't exactly amazing.
Mm-hmm. But you don't think it's a two though?
I think he's as okay too, but I think there's far better upgrades that you could give to your offense that would actually jump it up.
Right. I'm not asking to be a one,
Yeah.
two at
Oh
most.
yeah. Well, I mean, just a receiver too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you don't ever want to settle for okay. That's more depth that you settle for okay.
Uh.
Like, well, even think about it. Antoine Randall. He mentioned bringing. Oh, actually, James just brought it up. Draft 2, sign 1, new receiver room, just like that. I, you know, I think you need to upgrade. You need to have good receivers consistently. Reynolds really wasn't that ever consistent of a big time player. St. Brown is more of a, as I said, yak player. He's not the most explosive receiver in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you bring in an X, that guy's probably going to be double teamed, and Aljar, our X receiver, number 1 receiver, is going to be drafted unless we sign like a guy like DJ Chark.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not going to be exactly the world's best veteran. And odds are we're not getting Jamar Chase as a rookie receiver.
No, 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 no.
And so you're not going to expect too much production. So you gotta make sure you have a good set of receivers because you also got Quintus Cephas. That's a guy everyone's forgetting about
Mm-hmm.
as well. And I think he's a guy you already got a contract that can fulfill Josh Reynolds' role just as well or better. And so you
Right.
go get a guy who's
Well,
an
if you're
upgrade over both of those
receiver,
two.
you're saying goodbye to either Reynolds or Cephas. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you run with Cephas. There's no need to re-sign Reynolds because anything that Reynolds can do, Cephas can do.
So, would you use Cephas like your Robert Woods wide receiver, and Amon Ra's going to be your Cooper Cup?
I think so. I think that could be the case, but um, if anything, I think Amon-Ra is a bit more already of a Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think you can ever have a Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup is his own level of guy. I think if anything, this is going to kind of be we're probably going to draft a number 1 receiver who's fast. So maybe a Brandon Cooks guy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy who's good and can do your own thing. the thing is, I'm not a big fan of people trying to model after teams or offenses because
I
it's
agree.
nearly impossible. It's like, I will
Like,
say this. It's kind of
it's
like a bit off topic, but you know how everyone's kind of like saying, "Oh, I want to copy the Bengals. I want to be the Bengals."
yeah.
The Bengals took 3 years to be good. People
Hmm.
forget that Zach Taylor's been a coach for 3 years, and a lot of people had him on the hot seat
Right. We
because of
also
the Texas
expect him to
years.
be fired this year too.
Yeah, and so
And
you
I
don't
give
want to wait 3 years to be good. But you want to be good as quick as possible. Or if you don't want to, and if you're not going to be good by year two, you want to be way better. You don't want to go 3 wins or 5 wins. You want to go around like 7, 8, 9, or whatever.
well, especially in the second year of a rebuild, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, here's my opinion too. I think we should definitely draft a receiver. In my opinion, I would like a more bigger body receiver because come on, you really want Goff to throw to a 5'5" Khalif Raymond?
yeah. Hey, you're lagging pretty bad right now. I don't know if that might only be me.
Am I really?
Yeah, you're okay. Okay, as you moved up there, it kind of did a lot better.
Okay. In my opinion, I think I want a bigger body receiver.
Hmm.
So I want like a 6'3", 6'4" guy because I don't want Goff throwing to 5'5", no 5'3" Khalif Raymond.
Yeah,
That's gonna drive me insane, and we've seen this story before.
yeah. So like a Traylon Burks, Drake London, Jalen Schulberg.
Yep, or Christian Watson.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to like the draft a receiver early because this is a defensive heavy draft,
Yep.
and I think we could get a receiver in the third and fourth round.
Yeah, I don't think you can get a reliable receiver in the fourth round for the number one spot, but I definitely think if you get like a solid guy, second or third.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because like, hey, if Jalen Tolbert's right there in the third or fourth round, you really think I'm going to pass that up? Hell no.
Hmm. Yep. And yeah, I think there's a lot of guys you can truly use. I also really like David Bell. I think he's a really big fit. If anyone's going to kind of like be a guy who I think is a Goff fit in this draft, I think it's going to be David Bell.
Mm.
Sorry, I said Bill.
Oh, look, James said nope, nope, no Chase out there, but Burks can move. So can I really do like Dobbs. So
Hmm.
Bell London probably gone would be nice. I'm not. London's injury scared the shit out of me. Then take Philip. Who's Kyle Phillips? Or
He's a receiver out of UCLA. He's a pretty solid guy.
okay, and use 66 on Watson if they truly believe. Well, I agree with that, but the thing is Watson going to be there? That's my thing because he had a fantastic Senior Bowl,
I
and
think he will. I think he'll fall the third round because you got to remember a couple things. First off, this receiver class is already pretty deep, and second off, he also plays at North Dakota, and he was never bad, but he was never like this insane productive receiver.
mm-hmm.
And for example, Cooper Cup, one of the greatest college seasons of all time. Not seasons, careers of all time, and he still went in the third. And so you've got to kind of produce to, I think, kind of go in that second round, first roundish as a small school.
Mm-hmm.
Watson wasn't. He was productive. Like he was. I think he had a couple 700 seasons, but you gotta be even more productive to not be around at 66.
Right. I don't know though. Like, so if he has a good combine, do you think he'll still be in the third round?
I think he'll be early in the third round because right now I think he's a late third, fourth rounder.
All right, and that's
Because you got to remember Senior Bowl, it does stuff, but doesn't like make you it's not gonna get you like make your stock goes because Christian Watson was initially fifth, sixth rounder
mm-hmm.
that kind of moved up to fourth, late third. And I think a combine, especially if he runs a fast 40 at a size, like if he runs a 4.3 or a low 4.4, he's going to really get a lot of fans.
Right. And I'm all for if Christian Watson is there in the third or fourth round, I'll sprint to the podium. Hell yeah, go ahead and grab him with that comp pick.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and I'm actually kind of surprised you don't like Drake London. I think he's a really good player.
The injury scared me. That's just it. Well, I thought
Yeah.
it was a severe injury. So that's what kind of scares me a little bit about him.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I think the combine will clear up and see how well he does.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and I hate bringing up the Lions past and stuff like that, but we never really had very good luck with injury prone um, players.
Hmm. Well, you gotta remember it's also an entirely new staff, and if you never take risks because of what happened in the old days, you'll never improve in the modern days.
Right. See, we just got to nail this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just don't want to waste a valuable Rams pick on a wide receiver. If I have, let's say, a really good linebacker staring me in the face, or
Hmm.
defense staring me in the face, am I really going to take? Do I really need to take that wide receiver?
Yeah. So yeah, that I think that's good points. But I also think you gotta remember you gotta get that top tier level of receiver because if you do settle for the mid round, they're not as guaranteed to be those prototypical guys. I mean, look at Terrence Marshall. I think just about every person I ever met was pretty high on him in the
Mm.
third, and he did nothing this year, despite having being a good solid prospect. So you got to go for those more high level guys, and you want that number one receiver. You're already kind of unlikely to find a number one receiver out of a second round pick or even a first. Going in a third or fourth makes it even more unlikely. And I think the number one thing the Lions need to go for this offseason is receiver.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though. Chris Godwin was. I'll give you a few good examples. Chris Godwin was found like in I think it was like the third round. Pretty
I
damn good.
believe you were correct. It's either that or second. He was third round.
All
And he
right.
actually never really played number one. You got to remember that he actually played dominantly in the slot
Mm-hmm.
because he was playing next to Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Drake London's a good wide receiver, but it's the injuries that scare the shit out of me. That's just it.
Yeah,
I'm really high on Muma James.
yeah. Well, I think Muma will be around. He's around in most mock drafts, and you got to remember there's Christian Harris got a lot of fans. And let's see, I think you got Devin Lloyd, you got N'Kobe Dean. I think those guys will probably be the only first round guys, besides from maybe Christian Harris. I think those are the kind of unanimous three set linebackers, and I think Muma will be around since we had the second first round pick.
Now, would you take Muma?
Second
Would you
round? Oh heck yeah, I'm a really high on Muma.
would you consider that a reach? Like if Muma was there with the Rams pick, would you take him?
Oh, I wouldn't take him with the Rams pick because the Rams pick is a first rounder. I know a lot of people say it's like a second rounder, but if you are a good GM, you can still find a first round talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at T.J. Watt; he was a 30th overall pick, and he was
Right.
better than most top 10 picks.
See, like some people say, I think they're going to trade out of that pick, and I'm not really sure about that because the fifth year option.
Yeah. Well, and more importantly, you got to get good value. You know, if you're only getting like a second and a third, it's not really enough for a guy who could be a top tier guy, and you
Right.
could be moving down a lot of spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just really high in Muma for second round. I think probably my ideal draft would be Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, number two. I know you're more Kyle Hamilton,
I
but
know.
Aiden Hutchinson, late first, Jaquan Brisker, second round. No, actually no, late first, David Bell. Third round. I mean, then you go second round. I would go Muma. Third round, Jalen Pater. And then with your extra third round pick, I would probably go Damone Clark.
I do love me some Damone Clark. So I would think, but here's the thing though: like if you trade back, you could just take linebacker back to back. So I could take Muma and I could take Damone Clark. My linebacking core is set.
Well, I still think you can get Damone Clark with your earlier third, I mean, if you're a comp pick, because there's a lot of linebackers, and for whatever reason, Clark is being really overshadowed. Um, and the big reason why I think Damone Clark would be drafted by the Lions is again Kelvin Shepard. You got a guy who was already productive this last season, has good size, but he also has familiarity with someone who's pretty involved with the coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a perfect fit in heaven, right there.
Right. And I know you're a big fan of Hutch, but having a guy like Arnold Ebiketie would be really good, like because for our scheme because we, I think he's very good on the edge and he's very bendy, and I think
Yeah,
really good for us too to help get the pass rush going.
yeah, yep. And truly, I don't think there's necessarily a wrong pick at two. I'm pretty comfortable with either Hutch or Hamilton at two.
Yeah, me too. As long
Because
as
my big thing with Hamilton is he has to be a Sean Taylor or something close to that level, like top tier safety. Has to be a top two, top three
mm-hmm.
safety, and like has to be an elite level of play in order to be worth that number two pick. And he has
Right,
to do it consistently throughout his career. An edge, he has to be a top 10 consistently throughout his career. I think
right.
it's way more likely an edge will be. And more importantly, it also just depends because you think Kyle Hamilton is more better at free roam,
Mm-hmm.
like when you send him roam. Me and Rams House think he's better at strong safety.
Well, if he's
But
productive, that's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah. And but personally, I just think at the end of the day, you're still getting a productive player, and a good high end pass rusher is better than a good end safety. Pass rushers affect the defense way more than a safety does. Safety still have major impact. Most NFL teams have at least one good safety. Bengals have Jesse Bates. Chiefs have Tyrann Mathieu. But they also have at least one or two good pass rushers. And actually, they almost always have
Right.
two
But
good pass rushers in there.
I'll give you the Bills though. The Bills have Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, but can you name me their edge rushers?
Gregory Rousseau and is it Mario Addison? And they also have a defensive tackle I like.
Not
Harrison
edge.
Phillips. That's
Not
who
edge.
it is. Jerry Hughes. I forgot about Jerry Hughes. Yeah, you got Harrison Phillips, Jerry Hughes. Hughes when he's actually healthy is a fan. He's a good player. And what's his name?
Because that defense is stacked.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think half of that also though, when you gotta look at the Bills, is they have a defensive guru, John McDermott, and a good defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier. So it's a really hard thing to replicate.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have just amazing linebackers and secondary players. They have Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano. They have uh, Hyde, Poyer, White. I even think Levi Wallace is a pretty solid number two, but some Bills fans I talk to think he's man, which I understand. And I think those are the guys that you can have out there.
Right.
I just think in the end, I mean, would you rather have a Nick Bosa or would you rather have a Derwin James? I would rather have a Nick Bosa. I'm not saying Hutch is going to be a Nick Bosa, but you can see how much Derwin James is like top three. You can actually, who do you think is the best safety in the NFL?
Best safety in the NFL right now?
Yeah, Bates, Matthew, whoever it is.
Definitely Bates.
Okay, would you rather have Jesse Bates or would you rather have Nick Bosa or Joey Bosa? One of the Bosa brothers.
Well, yeah, I'll probably take one of Bosa's.
Yeah, and Nick Bosa and Joey are not even the best at their position. Close, close. They're very close, but they're not better than T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett. And
Right.
in the end, the guys who aren't even the best at their position at the edge spots aren't even more favored than like the best safety in football. And
Right.
so,
The thing, though,
and I think Hutch will be is a low floor, high ceiling player. Where if he can get some other stuff, like if he can be more consistent with his inside moves
mm-hmm.
and start being a bit better with his spin moves, I think he can be a fantastic player. Those are really fixable issues. And Hamilton, I think, is a good prospect. I was unfortunately wasn't able to watch most of your guys' Hamilton film,
Like, opinion.
but Hamilton, I think will be is almost going to be a great safety, but I can't guarantee he's going to even be on the level of Jesse Bates or Tyrann Mathieu. And so I just think you go with a pass rusher, even you also can also get good later safeties like Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Pater, or someone in there, or sign someone in free agency. I know a lot of people like Terrell Evans. Go grab him. You know, you go because you can get a good safety and you can get a good pass rusher or a great pass rusher. Give me the great pass rusher over the great safety and good pass rusher. I will say Arnold is a fantastic player. I will give you that. I think he's a good prospect, but I just think Hutch is in a whole nother league on him.
Fair enough. Like for example, Hamilton. I think Hamilton's a whole nother league out of all the other safeties in this draft.
Mm. And that's just where
I'm
it
not high
comes down
on
to positional value.
huh?
That just comes down when you think it's positional value, though. I mean,
Well,
how much do you value safeties?
how much do I value safeties? If he's
Yeah,
general, I'll take him. If I think he's the a generational talent, I'm going to take him because you're expecting someone special in the top 5,
yeah.
no matter what position.
All right. So I guess I also was saying that you were gonna do your own mock draft here. So while we got the max amount of 4 viewers, thank you everyone, by the way. Let's see what you would do in a scenario.
All right.
So I'm just gonna do the first 3 rounds because I think those are probably the only things we're really gonna focus on since we only have one fourth round draft pick.
I'm surprised
Come
Troy
on.
is here, so he's fighting the ring my neck for taking Kyle Hamilton.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna give me Kyle Hamilton, and plus
All right.
he's third in the freaks list. Like, come on now.
Oh yeah. Hot shot 2. I actually don't even know who's at 1.
All right,
Okay, so
Jermaine
32.
Johnson. Yeah, I'll take Jermaine Johnson.
Keep
All right,
Blair.
I'm gonna go linebacker.
Oh yeah, Leo Chanel. Forgot about him.
Oh yeah, Brandon Smith still there. Damn, there's so many good linebackers in this class.
It's actually even a couple more. Darren Bavers, Quay Walker, Damone Clark's right there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna wait a little bit for Clark. I want to say fuck it and take Muma.
All right, good man. All right, you're on the third round. Who do you take here?
Fuck, I'm time to double dip.
You gonna go linebacker?
Yep,
Who you gonna go with?
Leo.
You gonna go Leo? Good man. I do like Leo Chanel. Good run stuffer and pass rusher.
Yep, that's BPA too.
Oh yeah. Okay. I would imagine you're gonna go receiver here. Oh,
Christian
Christian
Watson.
Watson's on. Oh, there's Kyle Phillips.
Christian Watson.
Christian Watson. And I guess now. I guess we'll just have to wait for this to load. But overall, yeah, that was a pretty good draft. You got Hamilton, Jermaine Johnson. You got Chad Muma. You got Leo Chanel, and you got Christian Watson. That's a pretty dang good draft.
Very good draft. I'll say about a B plus. What do you give it?
I'd give it a B plus.
All right. Hey, as long as we're getting impact players, that's all that matters, in my opinion.
There's you.
No matter what, but in top 5, I can't take a raw prospect. Top, they gotta be a bona fide dog day 1.
Yep. Green. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for that to load. So here's Kyle Phillips stuff that James mentioned. Here's just his highlights. Let me just put his stuff in the description real quick. That way I don't get copyrighted for no reason. I've gotten copyright even though I've mentioned it. That's literally like on their page on how to not get copyright. Don't have sound, reference their thing. I even like it just to be sure. Say subscribe, but I don't own this. And I put their link in the description. I still sometimes get banned. It's like, bro. Yeah. So this guy's pretty small. This guy's more of a slot guy. So I'm kind of surprised that James mentioned him. Yep. He's actually also a really good returner. He's kind of like, in my opinion, he's actually kind of like, in my opinion, a faster Danny and Amendola when I was watching him.
I remember. I remember when we got him with all them Patriot players.
Mm. Danny Amendola was actually a good ad, though. I liked him. He was good for us.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that every player we had some form of a Patriot tie. Justin Coleman was on the Patriots practice squad. Um, Trey Flowers was literally a Patriot star. Jimmy Collins, Patriot star. Danny Shelton. I actually liked Danny Shelton. I was kind of happy when we got him, but also a Patriot. You got Danny Amendola, Patriot. The only guy who wasn't had a Patriot relation to him was Jesse James.
Oh yeah.
That's also a really horrible ad. Yeah, see, this guy, he's a small, fast dude. I think he'd be great value in the 5th or 6th round.
Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, would he take away snaps from Amon Ra?
No, I don't think he's better than Amon Ra, but I think he could do stuff that Amon Ra couldn't, like punt return, kick return. I think he could be, and sometimes you also got to remember, sometimes teams do as 2 slots in a game.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might have 2 of your slot guys out there. It's like the Bucks have had Scotty Miller out there with Chris Godwin, back when Scotty Miller was used before into AB game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for whatever reason, your draft just isn't loading. So I guess we'll do my own little Aiden one if he's actually around. Because I like to see if my ID.
Oh, James, he's there in the 6th round. I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, that's when I found him on PFN. Sometimes he's a 4th round pick on PFF, so it just depends on what mock simulator you're using. Oh sweet, this would just be the most Jags pick ever.
Wait, did they pick Thibodeau?
They picked Thibodeau.
Oh my god.
Pass on Evan Neal just to go get Kayvon. That's hilarious.
Yep. Let's destroy
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, let's destroy Trevor Lawrence's career.
Yeah. All right, so we got that. So now we're at 32.
I do like the Doug Peterson hire though.
I think that'll be solid. I feel like he's a fairly good. He was the best guy they could get that was left since Eberflus literally refused to coach there, as did Byron Leftwich. And who was the other guy that they were after? It was Kevin O'Connell. And I think Peterson's a better coaching candidate than Kevin O'Connell.
Oh,
I don't think he was brought in because he's literally McVay's copy boy. And so,
yeah,
I wasn't extremely happy with that.
My favorite hire was Dable. That was a fantastic hire for the Giants.
Well, he's got himself a good staff, good GM.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I can't believe PFF has Jaden Patera at cornerback. I think he's a career safety hybrid.
So,
did Damone Clark just get freaking picked right after that? Oh, no, it's James Alert. Okay. Rounds. Bam. Let's go grab my boy. Ah, they did pick him. Who picked him?
Oh, they picked Anderson's still there.
Yeah, I like Anderson. I would have preferred to get. Oh, it's New York. Freak you, Dable. Doesn't New York already have like 2 good linebackers? I thought they already had 2 guys they paid good money to get.
Oh, their linebackers suck.
Well, they paid big money. Oh, Blake Martinez was paid a whole bunch.
Oh, actually, Blake Martinez is okay.
I'm gonna go Troy here. Yeah, see, it doesn't even load for me. What the heck? Yeah, basically, that would be a pretty draft at me. Go double dip it. Oh, well, there we go. Loaded. Why did it take so long for yours to load, but not mine?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh! I already picked 2 safety. What was I doing?
I give you about a B. So you double dipped in linebacker. You got your pass rusher. You got your safety. I mean, solid B.
Yeah, actually, hold up. I gotta fix it. That oh, freak! They picked. Okay, I'm gonna go. Cause I actually selected Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Pater, and I'm pretty fairly confident the Lions are gonna get Tracy Walker back, or at least get a veteran safety. I don't think they're gonna go do 2-pointed right
Well,
there.
I'm gonna go stupid in free agency this year.
Yeah, I don't think the free agent class is that amazing.
No, me either. And two, I think Marcus Williams is a little overrated.
Yeah.
And I know the Bengals are probably going to resign Jesse Bates. So
You know what? You know who's got like super hated on though lately? Jamal Adams, man. That
dude,
man,
all he does is blitz.
yep. That man like got hung on a cross. I mean, holy.
Cross. Jesus.
See Simone around. Don't tell me they took Simone from me. No. Okay. Well, I guess Troy Anderson again.
Hey, I think he was on their Senior Bowl squad.
He was Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson. I think Clark and Anderson were both on our Senior Bowl team.
Really? Was Mula on that
Mm.
on their squad?
This would go in. This would probably be my ideal scenario. Besides not getting Damone Clark, it'd probably be Hutch, Bell, Muma, Pater, and then go Clark or Anderson. I would really like this draft.
Oh, you picked a corner?
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow Damone Clark I picked, but
You know what you should pick? Make an elite draft.
who?
You gotta pick Malik Willis number 2 to get an elite draft.
Oh my word. I really don't understand Malik Willis' hype, to be honest with you.
No, me either.
Okay, I'm actually gonna shut down this Malik Willis thing soon, but this is just gonna be kind of the start of it. To kind of share this, boom, boom, share this, share that, bam. Malik Willis threw 3 interceptions against UL Monroe and had 3 interceptions versus Middle Tennessee. I didn't even know these two colleges existed until I looked into the Malik Willis film. This guy is not that good. I mean, career high when actually playing games, 64% completion percentage. That's like slightly above average, but nothing insane. He's never reached 3,000 yards passing. Touchdown pick ratio, pretty good 2020, got a little bit worse 2021. He's a runner. I'm not a fan of guys who run that much in college. Now, granted, people say his O-line sucks. Okay. That stunts his growth.
Comrade Poco.
Yes, comrade. But, yeah, here's the thing, though. This guy was supposedly supposed to be this size. ESPN's off on this.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Willis is supposed to be 6'0", like 225, I think. That's what he measured in the Senior Bowl.
Uh-huh.
So he's even smaller than initially anticipated and heavier than initially, and a little bit heavier. But this guy here, I'll even just pull up his highlights. This is me doing a favor for Malik Willis fans. Malik Willis highlights right here. Like, this is me being completely like giving you. These are his high moments. These aren't even like his worst moments. This is nothing.
Dude,
And
see,
so this, you keep talking.
huh?
Like that's just like my thing though. Is like if all a quarterback needs is a cannon arm, then like 90% of quarterbacks in college football need to be drafted.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Like,
James just hit it on the head. He just said he's Tim Boyle with legs.
yep. like okay. First off, ooh, Campbell. This is the type of competition Willis is facing. This guy lost out to Bo Nix. Okay, he's a high recruit. I'll give him a pass for that. He's small, faces nobody competition, raw as heck, bad mechanics, O-line stunted his growth. Like, and here's the thing: people say, "Oh, but sure, Bo Nix was a highly rated recruit." Okay, if Willis was a talented quarterback, why didn't he transfer to some? Why wasn't he good enough to transfer to some other team not at Liberty?
Right.
Like that's my issue. But like now he's facing teams like this. Of course, he's gonna look good when he's at these raw traits. But I don't know, man. Like I don't.
See, with Trey Lance, at least Trey Lance went to a smaller school and balled out. He did not throw one pick in college. Am I?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't throw one pick in college.
People say that Goff holds on to. I mean, doesn't make a good enough decision or holds on. That guy could have been open if he was actually that good. He probably could have thrown that there, but he like ran immediately. Now he of course got the ball to score, no issue. But this guy seems to dip a lot, even when his line. Like this was also a weird throw. Like okay, it's a big thing. I learned this from watching John Gruden's QB camp and with Malik Willis. You're not supposed your foot isn't supposed to do this. Watch what Malik does here with his foot. See how it kind of like just lifts up like that? Like he like full on goes into the air. Your foot's allowed to like kind of like skim on the ground. Like his legs just kind of like not losing control. You're supposed to keep both feet planted and launch it.
Right.
Kind of watch it like if you watch Kellen Moore's QB camp video with John Gruden, you learn that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that's the one thing that I've studied out for my entire life because I wanted to be a quarterback when I was younger. Unfortunately, I didn't do enough.
James.
But I know all about the mechanics, the throwing stuff, and generally I'm more often best at prospecting with quarterbacks. It's like Justin Fields this year, totally saw it coming,
Right.
and because I just thought he was more raw than people like actually initially saw him. Okay, also a couple things on this little run here.
Now, did you thought that
I don't know
Lance?
if this was a quarterback draw, but people complain about his O line. Look how fast this guy runs. If he even has the slightest hint of pressure, he runs. Open guys. Like that guy could have thrown it in. That guy was apparently a tight end. Could have thrown it. That guy could have thrown it. Instead, he just bolted. That's not going to fly in the NFL. Old Dominion is not going to. Old Dominion may allow it. You know what team won't allow it? The New England Patriots.
Oh, yeah. The Pats went out. Pats won't allow that.
Yeah, like teams like that won't do it. And here's the thing: everyone compares him to Lamar, a big arm. Where's his juking out that Lamar has? I think
Right.
Lamar's a better quarterback than him.
Oh, 100%.
He,
Oh, he's actually Lamar's um window licking brother.
yeah. And Willis just he's not as evasive as Lamar.
Right.
He's not as powerful as Josh Allen when he runs.
Mm-hmm.
So he's neither what you want in a quarterback when he runs. He's
Oh
raw as
yeah,
heck.
they were hyped to be the
And like
next
show
Josh
me
Allen.
what throws he made that's like everyone that not any other quarterback in the NFL can make. Like everyone babbles about his arm. Sure, he has a strong arm. What throws is he making that's so insane? Most of these are just throwing to a guy who's running in a straight line. It's
Right.
not he's throwing into this incredibly tight window or this hard play. He's not doing anything. Like these are his best highlights. These aren't. This isn't me like putting in like his worst game, like people will do with like other prospects. These are his highlights, and none of them are really that wow. The only thing that you really would ever say wow, see straight line, nothing insane. Like good throw. Not gonna credit it. Not gonna say it was bad or that wasn't a good throw, but none of these throws are like, oh wow, I think this person couldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because I will say though, you want to know what Malik Willis' favorite target is?
The turf.
You damn right. No, that Senior Bowl told me everything I need to know. I was like, oh, I seen enough of you. I was like, come on,
Yeah.
come on, Cam, you pull this guy.
Well, what's my big indication of this QB class had nothing going for it is when Malik Willis, who apparently was being this 50-50 guy, he'd have the best throw at practice, but he'd also have the worst throw. If the guy who's being inconsistent is the best clear cut quarterback in the Senior Bowl, there's an issue with this class.
Oh, 100%. Honestly,
Also,
in my Howell did a lot better.
yeah.
But yeah,
Also, here's even a little bit of a notice thing that I kind of like saw here with this highlight play. Will snaps it right there. Look what he does there. He kind of like leans back when he throws it. That's not a great thing for quarterback formation because that's going to lead to an underthrow. And I actually think that's what happens here. Yeah, see the. Oh, actually, no, that might have been intentional.
Right.
But like the way he kind of had it, he had like his body all shifted. I don't know. I don't like his mechanics.
No. No.
Like I don't know what's Willis doing that Matt Corral can't do. Run? Oh well, that's not the main job of the quarterback.
Oh, by the way, Corral outdueled him too, so I just want to say that right
Yeah, I I won't hurt Willis for that because he is playing for Liberty while going against Ole Miss, an SEC team. But
Yeah, but like if you're that dude, should you be lighting him up?
maybe. Got to remember, Josh Allen wasn't like the best quarterback. Although Josh Allen was, he was the exception.
You know, I honestly thought that Josh Allen was ass when he came out. It was like I'm kind of eating crow on that one. So
Yeah, well, he had the traits that people didn't see. Like, he was definitely pretty raw coming up, but I think a lot of his issues were fixable. And
Mm.
if he went to the right team, I knew he would do well. When he got drafted by Buffalo, I was actually pretty happy. Because I like Sean McDermott, and they could make Tyrod Taylor look good. I was like, oh my gosh, what they could do with Josh Allen. It's like, look, all his throws are like, see, are completed, clear separation, or a good position for the receiver. Like, I don't, I don't see the hype with him.
no, I don't see the hype of him either. This this quarterback is ass all around.
Hmm. I don't know. Like, I don't think he's the worst quarterback prospect I've ever seen, but he's not this amazing player. Like, this guy uses a YouTube comment. Amazing play. Oh,
Amazing play. What?
yeah. Apparently, it's a comment here. Easy five, amazing play, and he runs. So let's just go through it. How much of it isn't running?
The dude can't see the field.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, looks one way and you throw it to an open receiver. Wow.
That's what the YouTube guy. And he even threw it awkwardly. What the heck?
Looked like a little wobble.
See, look the foot. See, he all his foot's not supposed to do that, man. It really hurts a quarterback. Here, let me pull up.
Wait,
I'm not gonna
what?
say he has to be like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm gonna show you some Aaron Rodgers things and how he throws the ball. I know this might hurt some Lions fans, but Aaron Rodgers, is of course that guy.
He is.
See how he
No one's
plants his feet like
gonna
that? You see how he plants his feet? They both stay on the ground like that. He doesn't let it, go flagging around or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for like a big, long, deep bomb. But see, he keeps his feet in control. Even that pass was like 40 yards.
You know what you should do? You need to pull up Trey Lance because people are saying he is as raw as Trey Lance, but Trey Lance is way better.
I wasn't even that big of a fan of Trey Lance, but I thought he was a fine developmental quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If we we'll pull up Trey Lance. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched his film in forever, so I couldn't tell you. But just how those two play alone, you know what I'm seeing? You're seeing Willis's like Lego, woo, like all over the place. But Rodgers kept control of his footwork. Footwork is such a big thing for mechanics. Wait, this is San Francisco. Oh, I was really about to pull up his. I can't believe he has. How does he have 6 minutes worth of rookie highlights? He's barely played.
He played a little bit because of Garoppolo getting hurt, and getting COVID.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had like 2 games.
Porn star Jimmy.
Children probably. Oh, no.
That's what they call him because he dated
Yeah,
a porn star.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Here's a throw. Oh
If you're
my
playing
gosh,
it,
he kept his feet. Look, his feet didn't go flailing like that 20-yard pass that Willis, or every pass that Willis had.
mm-hmm. Throwing
Okay, here's another
darts.
one.
He was my third
Hey,
quarterback.
throws it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. That's what it is, James. It's all about the running. Like I can't explain to you enough. See, he keeps his foot at least somewhere on the ground. That wasn't the world's best footwork there. I think that's probably why people said he was raw. His pass could have been. It probably would have went a little bit more like there. See how he kind of had to go a little bit more to the right there instead of just straight like he was. But if he kept, he at least somewhat had it there, so it was accurate.
Yeah.
Power. See, that's it. Okay. First off, this is Malik Willis. He doesn't power through that.
No, you don't. I don't know what
He doesn't do it.
To be honest.
I don't understand the hype of Willis at all,
No,
and
me either.
so it's just not gonna go.
Anybody busting, it is him.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end the live here, One Pride. So thank you for coming on here, man.
Oh yeah,
Nice to see you.
Have me on.
Welcome. See you all later, and I'll hopefully write some stuff in the Analytic Alliance website. That link will be in the description in 1 second. Start doing that permanently. And here we go. So yeah, this is where you'll probably see some extra information. And yeah. See you guys later. One Pride.